In today's video, I want to talk about health and 4 simple techniques that you can employ to improve your health right now. If you're new around here, my name is Mark, and this is a channel that is dedicated to creating optimal and sustainable habits so you can live a more healthy lifestyle. If that's something that interests you, then don't forget to hit that like button as well as subscribe for all future content. Before we dive into today's conversation around how to optimize your health, first let's actually define what health is. According to the dictionary, it is the state of being free from illness or injury. Now, in large part, I would agree with that being free of pain and injury could be a state of health, but I don't know if I would personally quantify that as being healthy. The reason for that is you can go and live a very unhealthy lifestyle and be free of injury and illness for a good chunk of your life. Now, does that necessarily make you healthy throughout that period of time? In my opinion, no. So I think it's important that we first reframe what it actually means to be healthy in order to optimize our lifestyle around health. As an example, if I'm a 25-year-old who smokes every single day, who drinks alcohol every other day, but I'm free of illness and pain, does that necessarily make me healthy? More than likely not. I think even that person would probably qualify themselves as not being very healthy. So instead of looking at health as simply being free of something, let's start to think about what it is that we can do each day or a couple times a week in order to prevent pain and illness, but also qualify ourselves to be an overall healthy person. The first technique is a very simple one and one that you should have access to immediately, and that is to drink more water. Simply drinking more water throughout the entire day, especially in the morning, has proven to be a very beneficial thing for myself. Your body is made upwards of 70% water. So the more that you can implement healthy, regimented doses of water, we'll say, throughout the course of your day, the better off you're going to be. And I would suggest first thing in the morning, try to capitalize on drinking as much water as possible. I find for myself that when you go a certain duration, we'll say 8 hours when you're sleeping without water, you're almost guaranteed to wake up somewhat dehydrated. So first thing, before you do anything else, I tend to drink about 500 milliliters of water, and then I'm going to jump into the remainder of my morning routine. As the day progresses, I'm going to make sure that I have a water bottle or something on hand just around me, so I'm consistently reminded that I have to drink water. It's very easy to go an extended period of time when you're getting wrapped up on the computer, on your cell phone, doing anything else that might not be that beneficial, to go a period of time without drinking the right amount of water. And this can lead to us dehydrating ourselves without even really knowing it. And then we're trying to consistently play catch up throughout the rest of the day. I would also suggest putting some electrolytes or even a little bit of salt in the water as well, and that is going to allow that to absorb on a deeper level. You can couple this with trying to limit your screen time and the amount of time that you specifically spend in front of blue light, as the combination of you sitting down, not doing anything in front of a blue lit screen is going to accelerate the process of dehydration. So drink plenty of water. A really easy thing to do is just buy a big container. Get like a 1 liter container, fill that up, and then that's something that you can drink for the next 2 to 3 hours. And then you can just top that up over the course of the day. And if you have 4 of those, there's your 4 liters for the day. The second technique is to get outside, and more importantly, get outside often. I would encourage you at least minimum once a day to try to get outside for minimum 1 hour. I would say that that is probably the bare minimum that you should be aiming for, as I think anything less than that, you can end up creating just unhealthy habits being inside or indoors for an extended period of time. What I tend to do is I will simply just go outside for a walk. I might even go to a park, just sit down, chill out, and try to seize to really do anything in that moment. I'll get barefoot, put my feet on the ground, and just take in what is going on around me. Like I said, trying to seize to be a participant in really anything else that is going on. I find the combination of getting outside, getting fresh air, and just taking that space to clear my head to be very beneficial for down-regulating my stress response and putting me more into a parasympathetic state so that when I do get back to my work or whatever it is that I'm returning to, I can come back a little bit more level-headed and just overall a little bit more clear. The third technique to improve your health is to move your body every single day. Now, this doesn't have to be anything that is very extravagant. It doesn't have to be you climbing Mount Everest or going rock climbing or doing anything very lavish. It can be as simple as going outside for a 15 to 20 minute walk. And it doesn't even have to be anything that is strenuous as well. But being sedentary, sitting inside all day, and sitting down all day will eventually lead to problems if there's nothing else complementing that. If you find something that is easy enough for you to do every single day, then I would suggest trying to stack another thing on top of that. So don't jump in all at once. Don't try to get a gym membership, start walking, do a HIIT class, do cycling, all at the same go. Really try to bring yourself up to the level that it is that you wish to achieve. So what that might look like in the initial stages is just starting with that 15, 20, even 30-minute walk and then slowly progressing that. From there, you can start to stack more things on top of it. So then if you wanted to get into a climbing class or something like that, then that can be another layer that you can add on top of trying to move your body every single day. Over time, what you're going to notice is you're going to have multiple things that you're doing throughout the day that is going to keep your body moving, ideally in a variety of different ways. So it doesn't get accustomed to just the same movement pattern over and over and over again. The last thing I'm going to touch on with moving your body daily, and a recommendation that I'm going to make, is try to be deliberate about what it is that you're trying to do when you are moving your body. See if you can actually dial into the movement itself instead of just going into another mechanism where you're trying to disconnect from yourself. See if you can actually be deliberate about trying to connect to yourself when you're going through those sets of motions, whether that be walking, throwing a baseball around, or whatever it is. See if you can actually hone in on the moment and what your body actually feels like at that time. What you'll start to notice is your awareness and your perception of your body is going to noticeably improve. Your kinesthetic intelligence, we'll say, your KQ, as it said, will actually start to increase, which is something that I think a lot of people lack. So see if you can be deliberate about what is actually happening in your body as you go through a motion, and you might be surprised what you actually learn about yourself along the way. The fourth and final technique is to have a morning and a evening ritual of some sort. I find that having something that I can wake up to and consistently dive into and already know what it is that I'm going to do to be a great way to kickstart my day. That way I'm gaining programming really around myself that when I do said thing, my body is getting into kind of the startup phase of the rest of the day. I'm not just leaving it all up in the air and just going off of a whim when I want to do something, or my body just kind of naturally going into whatever it is that it might want to do, which may not be something that is of benefit. So what you're really doing by having a morning ritual is you're setting the stage for how your day is going to go. If your day starts with just kind of you going off on a whim and not creating much momentum for yourself, then you can almost guarantee that that is how your day is going to go. But if you have something that is regimented, that kind of gets the whole startup process happening, where you're creating momentum, then you can expect that to carry through into the remainder of your day. When it comes to a evening routine, it's a very similar story. I'm sure you've heard of sleep hygiene, for example, before. And really what that is your body's programming to go into the shutdown phase. So now once you start to garner that habit and you're injecting that programming into your evening routine, now the mind, the body, and everything else knows, okay, now I'm going into my wind down phase, and within 1 to 2 hours, that's when you should be trying to go to sleep. If you can take these 4 techniques and apply even 50% of them on a daily basis, you're going to create a compounding effect where you're actually starting to benefit your health in an exponential way. And in that regard, you're going to be doing better than probably 95% of people out there. So take these techniques, try them out. Let me know how it goes in the comment section down below. Let me know if there's something that you have found for yourself where you have found that it's benefited your health in a great way. I would personally really like to know. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations on content that you might like to see in the future, then don't be afraid to leave that down in the comments below, as I'm always trying to search for new ideas. As always, if you did find this information helpful and valuable in some way, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more future content similar to this, as well as share it with people who you think might benefit from information such as this. Until next time, I hope you guys are prioritizing and then you are optimizing. Take care. Peace.